I was out for 2 weeks. And it was related to the COVID, which I know you said in your message you did not want to hear about it, but I was out for 2 weeks. So if anybody else called you back, I don't know who it was. I came back yesterday. I don't know who else called you back. I had your information. I guess they had sent it to me right before I left. And for some reason, I have no details of who else called you back besides myself yesterday.
Right, which I had that in my voicemail yesterday. And of course, naturally, you are aware that there were a lot of issues yesterday with cell phones, right?
Yes, that was yesterday, sir, but I was not aware of it when I called you. I did not become aware of it until after 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
That's fine. I really don't, that doesn't make a difference one way or the other. I'm just making a point. However, when the other young lady that called me back today, of course, naturally, where do we go? Right to your voicemail again, right? After she tells me you're there today. So, wasn't understanding that. But for her to have me explain why I was calling in the first place, that's kind of pointless, don't you think? I mean, I already told her I was referring back to you, so that call should have immediately gone to you and not even waste my breath with whomever was originally calling me. Right? Right.
Did you happen to get the name of the person so I could call their attention on it?
I can tell you this much, is they got to be Japanese because I could tell by their language and their name that they left at the time. And I can go back to my recording on that.
Would it happen to be Tanpa?
I believe so. She tried to spell it and try to say it. It's whatever.
Okay.
But anyway, in response to your voicemail, I can't even imagine how long ago did I originally reached out. Time frame. So where you say 2 weeks ago you're out, okay, I understand. You know, I'll meet you halfway. But when I originate this call, look at the time frame. Now you're expecting me to kind of reference back in my brain to what happened a month and a half ago. So that's why I'm now taking the liberty of recording all my calls for security and training purposes. That way there, now I can play it back and be able to answer the question.
April 23rd, sir. You and I spoke April 23rd. I returned, and this is my notes exactly, verbatim my notes that I put on April 23rd. I returned member's call, and he seemed to be upset, stating he wanted us to get a caseworker to call him, not a union rep. I tried to explain his message was sent to me, and I was calling to find out what I could help him with. I think he was so upset because when he started talking, I could not understand what he was saying, and I told him I couldn't understand him, and he got even more upset and started yelling. I asked him to calm down or I would have to end the call, and he started cursing, and that was April 23rd at 1:43 p.m. the last time I spoke to you. I went out on June 3rd was my last day working, and there's no notes that you called in between that time.
So as you just said, it was April, right? What month we in again? June.
When you started cursing at me on the phone, sir.
Regardless of the point, you have to understand that I was extremely frustrated, right?
I'm here to be verbally abused, sir, or to
And neither am I. And neither am I. I stand my ground, and I'm very well what my constitutional right is as well. So I do believe that there is a freedom of speech in that constitutional right. Right? Right. Right. So I don't. You know what? It is what it is. So without getting any more silliness now, regardless of the point, you just said it yourself. April. We're in June. What more do you want?
How can I help you, sir?
You tell me. You called me. You left me a voicemail. So you tell me.
You called me and left me a message stating you wanted me to call you back. So that's why.
Wasn't that April?
Back. No, you called after.
And when was that?
God.
Right.
Just a second. I will tell you. And actually, since you called and called again today, how could I help you?
I am calling you reference to your voicemail. So now I'm asking you, what was the nature of your voicemail?
You had called me, sir.
And when was that?
I apologize. If I called you, I am so sorry. I apologize. I called you. I had thought that you had called and left a message while I was out being sick.
No.
And I apologize. I
Like you
apologize
just
for
said, the last
misunderstanding your
time that
message,
we,
sir.
according to
You
you,
don't
we
need any
spoke in
excuses. We can
April,
go ahead and
right?
end the call right now.
Right. So again, if you just said that you just now stated yourself, the last time we called, the last time we spoke was April. Anything beyond that, if I did it again, seeing that there's too much time in between, and I know it's been more than 2 weeks, obviously.
Okay, so you don't need my assistance right now, Joe?
Again, what was the nature of your call?
I was returning your call. That was my nature of my call.
And what was my nature of my call calling you back when you last seen it? And I'm asking you when that was.
Yesterday, sir, when I called you. I started work yesterday. I left June 3rd was my last day of work. I came back to work yesterday from being sick for over 2 weeks. I came back yesterday, and while I was out, you had called and left a message on my voicemail.
If you're referring to yesterday, that is from the voicemail that I received from you. So I was kind of lost on which one you're speaking of. Now I only left you a voicemail coming from the voicemail that you left me yesterday. So if you want to go back to April, I did ask for simply to have the caseworker to contact me, to which never happened. I can tell you that. I was verbally told, I was verbally told, I was verbally told, I was verbally told, I was verbally told that I would receive an email or a phone call. And can you guess what not happened? Neither one.
Okay.
So, if that be the nature of when I called back again after April, to which I asked you to pull those records to see when that was, I'm thinking it must have been more than 2 weeks ago, right?
No, sir. It was while I was gone.
Okay, fine and dandy. You were gone, and obviously we didn't have a replacement for you. Okay, great. So, that's why it was difficult for me to. That was difficult. That's why it was That's why it was difficult. That's why it was difficult. That's why it was difficult for me to reference of the nature of your call. So all I'm trying to do is meet you in the middle a little bit, play nice a little bit. Oh, really, really. I beg to differ.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay. Because again, I only did what I was doing on my behalf. I was just relating back to you that no such record had came back to me one way or the other. None. So where's my support? Where's my help at that point that everybody says they're helping on? If I got told verbally that I was going to get a phone call back and or an email, and I've looked inside and out, of course, naturally, you obviously see I get voicemails. So where was it? There wasn't any. So obviously that probably maybe that's why I called you during your sick time. Then that could possibly be it. But if you're asking me for something that happened over a month and a half ago and regulate that, I'm just gonna have to start recording every one of my episodes. Everyone.
Please do so.
I am. Like now.
Okay. Okay.
June 16th, according to the time, 11:27 a.m. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
So, what more do you need from me?
I don't need anything from you, sir.
Okay, thank you. You see the support that you get, and so you pay union dues, right? Now they're going to ask me to help them, right? Which I did see an email that came from them, I believe, or something to that nature. I get so many of them, it's unbelievable. They want to stand up for what they call, I believe, solidarity. Is that how that's being said? I probably pronounced that a little bit, but you get what I'm saying. So when I reached out, they say, well, seeing that IHSS and everybody else that keeps passing about to come to the caseworker for whom I take care of, playing games with somebody that's their health is at risk. Okay, now we have a recording of which. So again, today's date, in reference, June 16th, 2020. My time is 11:28 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I try to get that call as loud as I could. As you can see, yeah, I might have swore at it, but maybe I was a little upset. If I did great. As you heard, it is my constitutional right that I believe there is a freedom of speech, regardless of the point. I feel if she feels that it was disrespectful towards her, well, you should have handled my matters. That is why I'm paying those union dues, correct? Of course, naturally, they're going to say that they weren't charging union dues because they couldn't during the COVID-19, because that would be an extended fee that probably something that they couldn't help on because they knew that this social distancing that they want to have going on, that they can't figure out how to meet one another, is so crazy. If this is what we're up against, I think we really need to really stand our ground and pull this Constitution before it gets changed. And from what I'm understanding, the president has an idea of doing such. The governors and whoever else and everybody else that goes into their little hiding areas, such as where they go for their major hearings, the ones that say yay or nay, Democrat, Republic, doesn't make a difference. All I know is if I was president of the United States that has control of one that has a little bit more power than a lot of people realize, for one, and then you let the government come in and go, well, we got to take a vote, yay or nay, or please vote. The mayor in Vegas there would understand what I'm saying, where you say, please post and vote, or yay or nay. I'm pretty sure you understand what I'm saying. But at any rate, that's the end of that call. As you can see, I just said, forget it. It's not even worth me getting upset over no more. I said what I had to say. Apparently, she could not go back into. You see, now you'll be able to hear her go. And I'm going to have to check my W-2 here that I recently got and see if they're taking my union dues, and then we're going to see from there. So you see how much help that they really are, right? They say they're there in solidarity. They're there to help you. And then, of course, that's if they go on strike, they want me there to help them when they're not there helping me. Typical. It is what it is. I really don't give a darn. They're the ones that chose not to take a fee during this time of the COVID-19 and figuring a way to keeping everything running the way they should. But I bet you they're trying to figure out how to come and get a payday at the end of the day. I feel sorry that she fell sick during this time. Hey, God bless you. But more better health to you. That was not the extreme of that call. So don't take it back out on me, because now you're upset that you're now getting mass amount of calls. Obviously, can't be just me. I can tell. I was just simply returning a voicemail from a voicemail, not even knowing what that original voicemail was regarding in the first place. As you heard, April wants to say that I cursed. Oh well, it's my constitutional right, so I really don't care. There is a freedom of speech, and I don't care if it gets written or not, because I believe somewhere in the law, when you look back in the black law books, the same justice books that most people get, you don't understand what I'm saying.